Hello, everyone. Welcome to APH Virtual Excel Camp, day 4 of Mystery Camp for 7 to 10-year-olds. Hope you're ready. Wonder if you did your extension activity. I know quite a few of you did because I have stuff to share. As you're getting in, again, welcome to the APH Virtual Excel Mystery Camp for 7 to 10-year-olds. I'm going to get going and sharing some of the things that were shared with me last night and this morning. First, we did have one more story come in. This mystery story is by Maeve. Two fairies named Tiki and Widgik wanted to bake cookies, but the queen fairy said that she will give them a golden key so that they can unlock the kitchen. They must hunt in the east and west flower beds, as well as the herb garden. Would you rather start in flowers or the herbs? You can put an F if you would start in the flowers, or H if you would start in the herbs. That was the mystery story by Maeve. Ooh, I'm seeing some herbs already in the chat. Ooh, flowers for someone else. Another flowers. Great job listening, guys. Remember, no wrong answers with that mystery. Now, Laura and Kimmy had you looking for symbols. Do you guys want me to go on with this, or are you guys going to cover it? Thumbs up from Laura, so I'm going to go through. Nathan and Jillian sent their symbols for rivers, mushrooms, and trees. Their rivers, they used two small red curved pieces to symbolize rivers, a small thin white piece with then a round half circle on top of it, representing a mushroom. And then a tree was a long orange stick with a green triangle on top. They placed them in their grid, that hashtag symbol that you made yesterday. Princess Eleanor actually sent us two pictures. She sent us one picture from the flow chart that she made. It has the yellow square on top and then two lines breaking off on either side with one purple circle and one white circle for either side. And then each one of the branches off of those circles are triangles, either a red triangle or a green triangle. And then she also sent her symbols for mushrooms, rivers, and trees. I think she, for her mushrooms, used little smaller stick pieces. Two mushrooms look like they have jewel tops, and one has that half circle red. Starting to see a little bit of a pattern. Her river also is just like the other one, using those half little curved red pieces. Her tree is very unique. Long white stick for the trunk. On either side at the top is a green triangle and a little red dot on either side. Kento gave us a tree, mushroom, and river. His tree symbol is a big, long yellow stick. At the top of that stick are 4 circles, 2 that are the donut circles and 2 that are solid. And then stacked on top of those circles are triangles and squares. And then there is a mushroom below that tree, which is a small orange stick. And on top of it are 6 little tiny circles on top. The river has 3 different straight lines and curved lines pushed together. Giovanni gave us his mushroom, river, and tree. His tree is a orange stick with a little red dot on top. His river is 2 curved red pieces. Boy, I saw that one again. His mushroom, though, yes, he used the half round circle, but he used a little red square under it to represent mushroom. Sydney gave us her tree, mushroom, and river. The tree is 2 white sticks representing either side of a trunk, and then 4 red curves, kind of representing that bumpy top of a tree. Her river also used 2 white strips, side by side parallel, in between 3 curved red pieces for river. We've seen that before. The mushroom, is still using that red half round circle, but 2 little white lines pushed together as the stem of that mushroom. Layla gave us a mushroom of river and trees, but she used the carousel of textures to add to it. There's a thin white stick for the mushroom and a trapezoid shape in brown for the top of the mushroom. The river is a rectangular blue piece, and the tree is a rectangle turned sideways or long ways that was fringed on the bottom in green. I am going to stop there because I know Laura and Kimmy want to get going and they have your favorite foods ready for a variety of activities. Have fun.
Thank you, Miss Leanne. All right, this is Miss Laura speaking. Welcome to day 4 of your mystery camp. We are so excited to have you back again. Today's title is The Investigators and the Mole Mystery. We are going to be solving a little mystery today about a mole who loses his glasses. Today I'm wearing a blue shirt. Still, my brown hair hasn't changed. And so I'm excited to work with you all once more. Miss Kimmy?
Hello, everyone. So excited for day 4. This is Miss Kimmy speaking. I'm wearing a dark green shirt today with yellow font and a yellow volleyball on there. And we are going to go over our rules for camp quickly. Remember to stay muted unless we call on you. Raise your hand if you have a question. Raise your digital hand. And lower your digital hand after your question has been answered. We move on, or if you forget. You can use the chat when we ask you to, and try to not use it for extra comments so that screen readers, people that are using screen readers, can limit that sound. We will also be using Kimmy's desktop today to show you my Wheatley board and some of the activities we're doing. You can pin that if you choose.
All right, this is Miss Laura speaking. We had some wonderful activities or clues about our activities come in last night and this morning. So we are going to share 2 of them. The first one is Nathan's favorite activity. So as we've done the last couple of days, if you start to get an idea of what Nathan's favorite activity is, please write it in the chat. Here we go with clue number 1. Clue number 1 says you play it with a remote. You play it with a remote. So what activity could we use a remote for? We see Princess Eleanor mentioned Fortnite. It's a good guess. The second clue that Nathan gave us was that it needs a TV. That starts to kind of narrow some things down. We need a TV. We need a remote for it. Starting to see a few more comments in the chat about video games. Let's get another clue out there. Clue number 3. You have many choices of games to be able to play. We see a few more people writing in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of the same comments there with video games. I wonder, what is Nathan's favorite activity? Well, we got an Xbox in there from Clara. His favorite activity is video games. Air high five if you got that. Nice job. High five yourself. Awesome. Thank you, Nathan, for submitting your favorite activity. Miss Kimmy, take away the second one.
All right. Our second top secret case is Jillian's favorite activity. Our first clue, people wear swimsuits. Kind of activities can you do in your swimsuit? Yeah, I see a guess so far, swimming. Second clue, you play this game when it is hot. Yep, couple more guesses. Swimming in a pool. All right. Our third clue. Oh, you throw things at other people. What could that be? So we have a couple guesses. Slip and slide, water balloons, oh, volleyball. Those are some good guesses. Swimming. And the answer is a water balloon fight. All right, we had a couple good guesses. Nice job, guys.
Awesome. This is Miss Laura speaking once more. To kind of open our day for today, we wanted to ask you a question. So go ahead and write in the chat when you have your answer. The question is, when you don't succeed on your first try at something, what do you do? So this is something where we'd like to hear what it is that you do if you don't succeed at something the first time. You can write it shortly in the chat. If you want to maybe explain your answer a little bit more verbally, you can raise your digital hand and we will take 3 digital hand answers. So think about it. What is something that you do when you don't succeed at something your first try? We're starting to see a lot of people writing in the chat. We're seeing a lot of try agains. Awesome. And I'm seeing some hands raised in the digital hand section. So let's start with Clara. Clara, can you go ahead and share with us, what is it that you do?
So I think about what I did wrong and then I try again. So maybe this time I can succeed.
What a great answer. I love that you said that you think about what maybe went wrong the first time and then you try it again. Because sometimes just trying the same thing again isn't going to work. So that's a great answer that you said you would think about maybe what went wrong and try to fix that. Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Clara. Sydney, your hand is up. Go ahead and share with us.
I try a new approach of how to do it. Due to the problem I'm having.
That sounds like a great answer, right? You try a new approach. Instead of doing the same thing, you try something different. What a great answer. Thank you, Sydney. And we will take one more hand that's raised. It looks like our third hand that's up is Princess Eleanor. What is it that you would do if you do not succeed at something on your first try?
I would like, if I need help with my violin, like putting the bow guide on, I would come and ask my mom or whoever is nearby for help to put my bow guide on so I could play the violin and I succeed the next time I do it.
Awesome. So I like that you gave a specific example of it, right? Using your violin, and maybe from personal experience, you had some difficulty with that. So getting help from someone if you can't succeed that first time, that's another strategy. I'm seeing in the chat a few more people wrote that, you know, they would not give up. Great answer. Thank you, Alexa. Leonardo mentioned maybe do some different tests, maybe games, things like that. So try some different ways or try some different things. All right, Miss Kimmy, what is it that we're going to learn today?
All right, those were some great answers. Thanks for sharing. Today, we will learn how to practice perseverance when it comes to solving problems. We will also use our Wheatley Kit as a 2D map to practice some basic coding, which sounds pretty awesome. Miss Laura, what does perseverance mean?
That's a great question. So perseverance means that kind of exactly what you guys were writing in the chat and what you were talking about. Not giving up when you're trying something again with a different approach. We are going to do exactly what you guys talked about, perseverance. So the way that we're going to introduce this is we're actually going to listen to a very short story. This is a story called Poppy and Sam and the Mole Mystery. I'm going to read it out loud. There will be pictures of the pages on the screen if you would like to follow along or read the caption or read the speech bubbles. And as I read, what I want you to do is listen for some of the places that the characters go. And as you hear where they go on their little adventure, you can record the order in which they go on your Wheatley board. So if you want to make a symbol for that place, you can kind of get the sequence or the order of those places down. Now, if you happen to hear any places that sound familiar to you, then go ahead and type that in the chat. So as I read, feel free to write in the chat some of those places that sound familiar to you. And here we go with our story, Poppy and Sam and the Mole Mystery. This is by Cathon, and it shows a young girl hanging out with a panda bear and a mole. The young girl's name is Poppy, the panda bear's name is Sam, and the mole, we will learn, is named Snuggles. Poppy and Sam are standing in a field of flowers, and Poppy says, "What a great day for a walk. The flowers are so pretty." Sam is picking some flowers and accidentally picked one with a bug on it. The bug said, "You picked my home." "Oh, sorry," Sam said. Poppy says, "Why don't we pay a visit to Snuggles?" "Great idea," said Sam. And they walk over to Snuggles Molesy's home. Sniffs Sam. "What smells so delicious?" "Hi, Snuggles," Poppy says. "Oh," Sam exclaims. Hi, Poppy." "Hi, Sam," says Snuggles. They walk into Snuggles' home, which is filled with pies. "What's wrong? You look kind of funny," Poppy says. "Strange, so strange," Snuggles says. And Sam looks very excited to be in a room full of pies. Snuggles says, "I was waiting for my pies to cool down, and I needed my pretty pink glasses to read a chapter of my book. But they aren't in my vest pocket where I usually keep them." Poppy says, "Maybe you dropped them while you were baking." "Oh, I hope they didn't fall into one of my pies," Snuggles says. Sam comes along and says, "There's only one way to find out." And he starts eating all the pies. "They're not in this one." Burp. "Or this one." "Or this one." Burp. "They're nowhere to be found," as Sam lies on his back with his tummy full of pie. Poppy says, "Snuggles, what was the first thing you did today?" "I went down to the creek early this morning to wash my yellow vest." Burp, says Sam. "Let's go. Maybe you dropped your glasses on the shore," Poppy says. Slurp, slurp, slurp. "Wait for me," says Sam as he continues to eat pie. So they all go down to the creek. "Let's split up to cover some more ground," Poppy says. And so they all spread out. Sam looks under a leaf, Snuggles looks through the grass, and Poppy goes and looks in the creek. Have you found anything? Poppy asks. No glasses anywhere, but I did find this in the tall grass, says Sam as he holds up a party hat. Oh, what a lovely hat, said Snuggles. Hang on to it. Maybe we'll come across its owner. What did you do after you washed your vest? Poppy said. Well, I paid a visit to the Spider Brothers. I needed some silk for the winter socks I'm knitting. Sam is putting the party hat on Snuggles' head. What a silly panda bear. Spiders? Sam says. Maybe I'd better stay put in case the hat's owner comes back. Oh, come on, Sam, says Poppy as she drags Sam along. They approach a spider web with 3 spiders. The spiders are knitting some socks. Sam looks a little scared. Mr. Spider, would you happen to have seen a pair of pink glasses nearby? Poppy asks as she talks to the spider. No, but I did find this flowered umbrella and blue fan stuck in my web this morning. Do you want them? Sure, says Poppy as she looks up at the spider. Maybe we'll bump into their owners on our way, says Snuggles as he climbs up the branch. Sam is still down in the grass, not coming near the spiders. Do you remember what you did next? Says Sam. Well, it started to rain, so I hid under that big mushroom over there. Some of these places are starting to sound familiar to me. So they walk over to the giant mushroom. It shows a picture of Poppy looking around in the grass, and she finds some pearls. Sam looks around and he finds a top. And then they hear, Poppy looks down and says, look what I found. Not Poppy, my apologies. Snuggles, the mole. Look what I found, isn't it pretty? And he holds up a flute. A flute, a yellow top, a pearl necklace, a blue fan, a flowered umbrella, and a pointy hat. But I still haven't found my glasses, says Snuggles in a very sad manner. But they spread out all of their items on the ground. Maybe I dropped them in the grass when I was looking for a 4-leaf clover, he says, and he starts to get a little worried. Or maybe the beehives when I went to fetch some honey to sweeten my pies. Honey? Says Sam. He looks a little excited about honey. So they start walking over towards the 4-leaf clovers. They look around, but they're not finding anything. Then they walk over to the tree, and you can see that Sam is climbing up the tree looking for that honey. I know of a similar bear who likes honey named Winnie the Pooh. 2 hours later, a paintbrush, a leather glove, a spool of golden thread, a soup spoon, 3 earrings, a wool scarf, a safety pin, 3 socks, 5 marbles, and not a single pair of glasses, Snuggles says. And in the picture, they have all these items laid out in the grass. No glasses, though. Well, where did you go next? Sam said. Before heading home, I climbed up that tree to pick an apple, says Snuggles. Well, time to start climbing then, says Poppy as they start climbing the tree. As they move their way up, they're going up to one of the top branches. They climb on top of each other in order to reach. And they hear a voice going, hee, 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 hee. Huh, do you hear that? Said Poppy. Hee, 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 hee. Excuse me, Miss Bat, says Snuggles. And there's a bat hanging upside down from a tree reading a book. Have you seen my glasses? He says. My hat, says Miss Bat. Miss Bat is wearing Snuggles' glasses, and Snuggles wearing Miss Bat's pointy hat. Found your hat down by the creek, said Poppy. I must have dropped it during my morning swim, said Miss Bat, as they trade the hat and the glasses. I found your pink glasses hanging from a branch. They fell out of my vest pocket, said Snuggles. What will we do with all this stuff now? Sam asked as they look at all of their items on the ground. And Miss Bat flies down and says, I've got an idea. So they start to make a lost and found pile. Poppy is shown here painting the words lost and found on a sign. Miss Bat is spreading out a blanket. Poppy is singing a tune while spreading out all of the items. And Sam went and gathered all of their friends. So they all show up, and the pig says, Look, my glove. The ladybug says, My paintbrush. And more friends come along. Oh, the hat my mommy knit for me, said the bee. My lovely top, I thought it was lost for good, said the bug. My bowling ball, said one. My cowboy boot, said another. My yellow sock, said another. My lucky marbles, said a dragonfly. My favorite umbrella, said another ladybug. Whew. Well, that was the last one, said Poppy. They yawned. Can we go home now? And the last picture shows them all snuggled up in snuggled bed. A bedtime story saying, Nighty, my furry friends. The end. All right. So I was trying to follow along with the chat as I was reading, and we didn't see any familiar places, did we?
We did not. If anybody would like to type in the chat now, did you hear of any familiar places in this story?
Maybe things that we've asked you to make previously.
Princess Eleanor said creek. I think that was one of the first places they went to look for the glasses. Good job, Princess Eleanor.
What were some of the other places they went? Ooh.
A couple of our friends said mushroom. A couple people said tree. I think those were both symbols that we made last night as well. They did go to the long grass.
Oh, yep, we're seeing a few more coming in. Princess Eleanor also said they went to a spider web. Layla mentioned they did go to the trees. And so, yeah, we had you guys make symbols for a couple of the places that they were going to. Clara mentioned a creek is kind of like a river. That's a good way to think about it. And Leonardo mentioned, yeah, they were in a forest for some of that time as well. So we had you last night create a creek symbol, which many of you created a very similar one with those squiggly lines. We had you create a tree symbol, and we had you create a mushroom symbol. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to place those three symbols within three very specific boxes on your little hashtag grid or your 9-square grid that we made at the end of class yesterday. So what we would like you to do is I'm going to actually switch over to Miss Kimmy so she can share her screen. And Miss Kimmy, can you help describe where each of these things is going to go?
Sure. I will remove what I have in the center square. So with our hashtag or tic-tac-toe grid, like we said yesterday, we end up having 3 rows. And rows means it goes from left to right across the top. So our first row, we have a top left square, a top middle square, and in the top right square is where we put our creek. So if you have your creek symbol, go ahead and put that in the top right square of your grid.
Miss
Miss
Kimmy, I
Kimmy.
have a question. Oh, good, Laura. I
Go
bet
for
you're
it.
going to ask the same question.
We might. Go ahead.
Well, my symbol might be a little too big for that little square. What do I do?
Is that what you were going to ask, Miss Laura?
It was. We're on the same page.
All right. So if you made a big, elaborate, creative symbol, which is super awesome, but it might not fit in your square, you will have to modify it. So you can copy what some of our other friends did, which was 2 arcs put together to make a wavy line, or you can use part of your symbol that will fit into the square, so you know that it represents the creek or the river.
And I see Brianna wrote done in the chat. That's a great way to let us know that you are ready to move on once you have it up there.
Perfect. So now in our middle row, we are going to put our tree in the middle left square. So the middle row square all the way to the left is going to be your tree. I used a small white line with a green triangle on the top and a little white line sticking out like a branch. Your middle center square is going to be empty, and the middle right square is going to be empty as well. Feel free to type done in the chat when you have your tree symbol placed in the middle left square.
We're getting a few more dones.
All right. Now we're going to move on to the the bottom row. The bottom row, our bottom left square is going to be empty. We are going to put our mushroom symbol in the bottom middle or bottom center square. I used a purple fuzzy rectangle with that red half circle on top, which we saw a lot of our friends did as well. And your bottom right square will be empty.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Kimmy. So we should have, every row should have one symbol. And we want to make sure all of our symbols are in the same places as what Miss Kimmy just did, because we're going to be moving around this as if it were a map. And so we want all of our maps to have the symbols in the same places. So remember that across that top, you have the symbol for creek in the far right-hand square. Across the middle, you have the symbol for tree in the far left-hand square. And across the bottom, you have that symbol for mushroom in the middle square. So I see a few more people wrote that they were finished or done. We'll wait for a few more before we jump into our next piece.
While we're waiting, if you are already done, you can find a smooth gold square and a small fuzzy circle. We are going to use those for our character.
Awesome. I see a few more dones in the chat. So what we're going to do with this little character, we're going to have the gold square represent their body, and the little pink circle is going to represent their head. So what we would like you to do is put the gold square in the middle square, the one that is directly in the middle of your little hashtag symbol. And their pink head is going to be on top of that square. So it should look like a little person with a round head and a square body. I'm going to jump back into my sharing my screen really quickly so that we can follow along here. Oh, you know what? It's time for a movement break. I almost forgot. Good thinking here.
Good
Everyone
timing.
stand up for me. We're going to do something slightly different today. So everyone stand up. And actually, I realized, yeah, that's fine. Everyone stand up in place. And what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is 5 jumping jacks. So everyone do 5 jumping jacks on your own time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, don't sit down because we're going to have you do another thing. We want you to turn to your right. So everyone turn to your right. That means that you should have your left arm facing your camera. Now, do 2 more jumping jacks. 1, 2. All right. Now, turn to your left twice. Miss Kimmy, what do you think I mean by that?
I think that means I'm going to turn left to face my camera again, and then turn left one more time so my right arm is facing my camera.
You got it.
Are
So
we
now
going to
you're
do more
facing the
jumping
opposite.
jacks?
3 more jumping jacks. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3. And then one final turn. Turn one more time to your right so you're facing back towards your camera, and you can sit back down. Awesome possum. So, as Miss Kimmy mentioned earlier, we're going to be doing some coding. If you haven't heard of coding before, coding is a method of giving a computer instructions in order to perform a task. So we are not going to be using a computer to do that. We are going to be giving our little character instructions on how to get to different places on our map. We are going to use a couple different commands. The first command is the command forward. All forward means is that you're going to move 1 space directly in front. When we use the command left, all you're going to do is turn your character 90 degrees to the left, just like you did when you were doing jumping jacks. You're also going to be able to use the word right. Turn your character 90 degrees to the right, which means you're going to turn slightly to the opposite direction, like you did when you did your jumping jacks. And the last one here is facing. When we're facing something, that is the direction the character is heading towards. It's where their head is pointing. So we're going to use that as a term when we move around our board. So we're going to practice some basic coding. We just made our characters, so we're good. They're in our center square. And remember, their gold square body and their small circle for their head is going to be facing upward towards the top of your board. Miss Kimmy, can you explain how the commands will work?
Sure. This is Miss Kimmy speaking. Our 3 simple commands are going to be forward, left, and right. So like Miss Laura said, forward means 1 space forward, whichever way your character's head is pointing. So right now, our character's head is pointing up towards the top of our board. So if we went forward, we would move 1 space up. Left, like we said, means just a turn left, and right is just a turn right. So when we type these in the chat, if we ask you guys for some feedback or to tell us a code, you can use F for forward, left to turn left, L to turn left, and R to turn right.
I have a question, Miss Kimmy.
Yes.
When you said turn left and turn right, what moves? Does the circle move or does the square move?
That is a very good question. When we turn left, the head is just going to turn and face the left. If we move right, the head is just going to turn and go to the right to the next position on the square.
So if I have it correct, I'm following those flat edges of the square and I'm moving around one of the corners of the square, either to the left or to the right. So I'm going from flat side of square to flat side of square around a corner.
Correct. And it's whichever way you're facing. So just like when we did our movement break, when we were facing forward and we turned right, our head turned and faced a different direction. But once I'm facing right and I turn left, then I'm facing my camera again, or maybe the top of the board.
Awesome. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to move our character. This is Miss Laura speaking. We are going to move our character around our map using that code. So I need you to write in the chat, if you remember from the story, between the tree and the mushroom and the creek, which one was the first one out of those three that the characters went to? Which one was the first one that they went to? I'm seeing a couple people writing in the chat, and Miss Leanne, I apologize. Yes, that is a good question. Miss Leanne asked if we are ready to join on camera, and I think now is a good time. So if you would like to join on camera, please raise your digital hand so that Miss Leanne can switch you over. That way we can watch you as you move your character around your board. And I'm seeing in the chat here that a couple people are agreeing that we went to the creek first in our story, and you are correct. You are correct. Emmanuel, I see that your hand is raised. Is that because you wanted to be on camera, or did you have a question? Oh, I think they all want to be on camera. My apologies. Yes. All right. So what we're going to do first is move our character to the creek. Miss Kimmy, could you tell us some of the different ways we could maybe get there?
Sure. So our character is in the middle center, the very center space of our board. And the creek is on the top right. So we could either go forward first, or we can turn to the right first. Which one do we think we should do? Go ahead and type in the chat if you think we should go forward first, type in F, or if you think we should turn right first, type in R. Seeing a couple of R's already.
And again, remember, this is Miss Laura. There is no correct answer to this because especially for the first step, we can go either way. So there is really no right answer. But right now the R's have it. So Miss Kimmy, I think we're gonna turn to the right.
That's what I'm seeing as well. So we will turn to the right, which means the head of our character is going to go around to the other solid side of our square. And he's going to be facing the right side of the board. So he's not actually moving any spaces yet. He is just turning to face a different direction, which will be the right side of our board.
Awesome. I see
Layla is holding up hers, and she's got the circle on the right side of the square.
Thank you, Princess Eleanor. Yep, you have the circle on the right-hand side of that square, pointing them to the right. And I see Ranger did the same thing. Awesome. So now that we're facing to the right, what's one of our next options? Miss Kimmy?
Well, we could move forward, which would take us to the middle right square, or we could do something else. We could turn another direction, either left or right. Go ahead and type in the chat F if you think we should go forward, or left, an L for left or an R for right if you think we should turn.
I see Angelina, Clara, Ranger have all typed the letter F for forward. Thank you. I see Brianna mentioned that we should go or turn back to the left again. A couple
Okay.
others, Natalie saying forward as well. Kento, yep.
So I'm seeing mostly forward, and I think I will agree with that. So let's move our character forward one space. The important part here is to go the direction he's facing. So if his head leads the way and he goes forward one space, he's going to end up in that middle right square. And he hasn't turned, he only goes forward. So he is still facing the right edge of the board. So right now, if he tried to go forward, he would walk right off the edge. We don't want that, do we?
No. I see in the images, Princess Eleanor, Ranger have moved theirs over. If you're kind of stuck right now, if you were to go across your board and kind of find where the character is, the character should be right underneath the creek right now. So if they're not underneath the creek and they're someplace else, make sure you get them to right underneath the creek where their head is on the right hand side of their square.
All right. So to make sure our character does not walk right off the edge of the board, what do we need to do? We're going to need to turn. Type in L if you think we should turn left, or an R if you think we should turn right. This one might be a little tricky, so take your best guess. Or imagine you are the character and you're facing the right edge of the board. Which way do we want to turn to get to the creek? Left.
I'm seeing lots of L's in the chat.
I am too. And I think that's a great choice. Since our character is facing the right side of the board, when he turns left, his head is going to move to the top of the square. So everybody go ahead and turn your character left 90 degrees. His head is going to be facing the top of the board or facing the creek, but he is still in that middle right square. He has not moved a space yet. He's only turned his head to face the creek. I see Princess Eleanor is feeling the different sides of the square and imagining which way her character is facing. Ranger has his character facing the creek. All right. Go ahead and type in the chat if you can figure out what we should do next. Remember, we are trying to get to the creek. So what code should we use next? Remember, our choices are forward, left, or right.
Miss Laura, I'm seeing lots of F's, meaning that we should move forward.
All right, I agree. Let's do it, friends. Let's move our character one space forward. Psh, splash.
Clara said exactly the same thing in the chat.
We just jumped in the creek because we took one step forward and now we're in or at the creek looking for our glasses. I wish I was there too. Sounds much cooler than here in hot Arizona.
All right. I think maybe we can try to now that we have the pattern down, let's try to do one more and see what we can do. You want to try one more, Miss Kimmy?
Yeah.
All right. So if you remember from the story, after the creek, did they go to the mushroom next or did they go to the tree? What was the next place in the story that they possibly went? I see Ranger typed an M for mushroom. I see Princess Eleanor did the same thing in the chat. Yeah, we're getting lots of M's right now, and I think you guys are correct. So we have to go from the creek to the mushroom now. So we are in the creek. Our head is facing towards the top of our board, and we need to figure out how to get to the mushroom. But the mushroom is pretty far away. It's all the way down in that bottom row in that center. So we're gonna need to move pretty quickly to get it over there. Miss Kimmy, take it away.
All right. I am going to give you guys a little bit of a challenge here. So let's do our first step together. What do we think our first step should be? Right now, our character is facing the top of the board. Should we go forward where there's no spaces, or should we turn left or right? Good, I'm seeing lots of our friends are saying turn left. Okay, so remember when we turn left, that just moves our character's head. And I'm gonna move him. So that moves our character's head. Now he is facing the center of the board, or the middle of the board, I guess. And he's still in the top right square. So now here's your challenge. We have a couple minutes. See if you can finish the sequence that gets us all the way to the mushroom. I think we can do it in 4 moves. So you're going to type 4 letters in a row that if our character followed it, he would get to the mushroom. So you're going to want to type 4 letters in a row.
A lot of our friends are typing what the next step is, which is great. They're showing that they should move forward.
Good. Audrey got it. She gave us an answer. She typed F, L, F, F.
Looks like Ranger agrees.
Mm-hmm.
Clara and Kento, they also agree. So we did that forward movement, which means we're in that center top box now. And if we're following people's instructions in the chat, they said that we should do the L next. So where does that move our head, Miss Kimmy?
Good. So if we turn left now, the head of our character is going to face the bottom of the board. And then if we go forward, he goes to the middle center board. Forward one more time. I don't know what sound a mushroom makes.
That'll be a good challenge for everyone. What sound does a mushroom make? Nice.
Boing? Okay, I was like.
That's a good one. Yeah, I can imagine bouncing on it would be a boing.
Yeah.
Boing. We arrived at the mushroom. Woo! Good job, everyone. So here is your challenge for tonight. We're going to add a little tiny bit to your extension. Since we didn't get a chance to get to the tree yet, if you want to make that a part of your extension activity, you can tell us, how do we get from the mushroom to the tree? Now there's a couple different routes you can take. And so you can type your code using F, L, and R into your email and send that to us so that we can see if you got to the tree. I'm seeing a couple other people in the chat are saying bump would be another good mushroom sound. Awesome. So the final thing, while we have a few more minutes, we're going to share very quickly what it is that we need to do tonight. You guys just did some basic coding. So congratulations, that is some tough stuff. We learned some basic coding in order to send our characters around to various locations on our 9-square board. And you practice problem solving and perseverance. Now, sometimes our code maybe wasn't going to work out. And so you might run into that problem when you are going through the extension. Make sure that you persevere and you practice problem solving. For your extension tonight, Miss Kimmy, can you explain what they will be doing?
Sure. So for your extension tonight, we want you to practice your coding. You can practice getting from the mushroom to the tree. You can also use your mystery story that you wrote the other day. Or maybe you can pick one of your friends from the folder that is posted. You make your 3 locations and you move your character around the map with your codes. Something I saw Ranger doing, which is really cool, he was using his hands to count the spaces and turns across his board before he moved his character. And then tomorrow is our final day, and we would like to have 3 clues about your favorite animal for our last top secret case.
Remember, don't forget to send those to us. And as always, if you happen to have ones from earlier extension activities, you can still send those too. We love seeing your stories and your portraits and all the things that you're coming up with at home. So please feel free to share those as well. Oh, we got another good sound for a mushroom. Squish. Thank you, Clara. That also sounds like a great one. Miss Leanne, I'm going to send it back over to you.
Well, thank you all for joining us. This has been loads of fun. We will see you tomorrow. I want to say thank you to Laura and Kimmy for keeping us coding. Bet you didn't expect to do what you did today. Think about the story they used. Now think about your story. And what a great idea. If you didn't come up with the story, we did share other people's stories. And maybe your path will be different than theirs. Thank you also to closed captioning. We appreciate you for being with us today. See you all tomorrow. Bye.
Good job, friends. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.